The wine glass slipped from my mother's hand and shattered before it hit the floor. No one reached for it. We all stared at my wife instead. She was smiling. Not warm, not nervous. Precise. The kind of smile you wear when the blade is already in your palm and you're deciding where to place it. My brother sat beside her, knee brushing hers under the table like it had done for years. My parents pretended not to see it. They always had. My wife lifted her fork, tapped it lightly against her plate, a sound small enough to be polite, sharp enough to silence the room. "I think," she said softly, eyes fixed on my mother, "we should stop pretending tonight." The air changed, dense, pressurized. My father cleared his throat. My brother smirked, confident, practiced. I stayed still. I had learned long ago that stillness unsettles liars more than shouting ever could. Then my wife spoke again. "Before anyone asks why I'm sitting so close to him," she nodded toward my brother, "maybe we should talk about who taught me that boundaries don't matter in this family." Her gaze didn't leave my mother, and in that moment, something ancient and rotten finally cracked open. It hadn't started with sex, it never does. It started with laughter that lingered too long, with touches disguised as accidents, with my parents encouraging him, "He's just being friendly, you're too sensitive." My brother had always been the golden one, charming, untouchable. When he flirted with my wife, my mother smiled like it was harmless fun, like it was flattering, like it was inevitable. I told myself it meant nothing. Men lie to themselves first. But the pattern sharpened. Late-night messages she didn't hide well enough, family dinners where my brother knew things about her day that I didn't, and my mother, always watching, always approving. That was the part that stayed with me, the quiet encouragement. At dinner parties, she'd seat them together, praise how comfortable they were, how natural. I felt displaced in my own marriage, a guest in a story being written without me. Still, I said nothing, because silence was safer than knowing. Until tonight, until my wife decided to burn the room down. "She likes him," my wife continued, voice calm. "She always has, because he reminds her of someone." My father's face drained. "And because," my wife added, "she's been keeping a secret for over 30 years. The words landed without explanation. Suspicion bloomed, sharp, unavoidable. I felt it then. Not heartbreak, alignment. Everything suddenly made sense. I didn't react. I watched. Shock reveals more than anger ever will. My mother's hands trembled. My brother leaned back, confused but still arrogant. That night, I didn't ask questions. I started collecting answers. Phone records, old photographs, dates that didn't align. I watched how my mother avoided looking at my brother when my father entered a room, how she overcompensated with praise. I ordered a DNA test quietly, clinical, efficient. I compared timelines, noted similarities no one wanted to name. My brother's eyes, my mother's smile. I stayed calm, at work, at home. My wife watched me carefully. She knew I was building something. Inside, I wasn't angry, I was precise. Betrayal is easier to dismantle when you treat it like a structure, not an emotion. The results arrived on a Tuesday. Unremarkable envelope, unremarkable paper, extraordinary truth. I invited them all to dinner again, same table, same seats. I slid the report across to my father first, didn't speak. He read, stopped breathing. My brother laughed until my father's hands began to shake. Then my mother screamed. Not denial, recognition. The test was conclusive. My brother wasn't my father's son. He was my mother's affair made flesh. The room collapsed inward. My brother stood up, shouting. My mother sobbed. I remained seated. "I know," I said quietly. "I've known for weeks." They all turned to me. Control returned to its rightful place. I stood, straightened my jacket. "I won't expose this publicly," I said. My brother froze. My mother clutched the table. "But you're done here." I handed my father a second envelope. Legal documents, wills revised, trusts dissolved. My brother's inheritance gone. My mother's image destroyed, privately, permanently. And you, I said to my wife, meeting her eyes, are free to choose whoever you want now. She swallowed, too late to smile. I already did, she whispered. I nodded, walked past them all, left the door open. I didn't feel relief or triumph, just clarity. Families rot quietly. Love erodes politely. I had mistaken endurance for loyalty. Now I understood the difference. I didn't look back. Some truths don't need forgiveness. They only need distance.